Hi all, welcome to my channel, myself Lakshmi. This video is all about Monstera plant. I'm going to share some tips on caring for this plant and discuss its unique features. Here you can see our 4-year-old Monstera plant. Monstera Deliciosa is one of the best indoor plant. The specialty of this plant is that it grows, its leaves become larger, developing splits and holes. This makes it look very attractive. This plant is climber like money plant, but its stems are much thicker. This plant not only enhances the beauty of your home, but also it helps purify the air at indoors. These plants are one of the best indoor air purifying plant. It can survive in partial to low light, but for better growth, it should be placed near a window or in a spot with bright indirect sunlight. Since it is a climbing plant, it will continue to grow as much as you provide support. When I brought it 4 years ago, it was much smaller, but now it has grown to over 6 feet. Those who are thinking of buying a big indoor plant, Monstera plant will be the best solution. Choosing the right planter is very important for this plant. It's better to plant baby plants in small pots and young plants in medium-sized pots. Means when Monstera plants are at the baby and young stages, it's best to plant them in 5 to 10 inch pots. If you plant them this way, both the roots and the plant will grow normally. However, if a baby plant is planted directly in a big pot with soil, the roots will expand significantly, but the plant growth will be slower. By using small to medium sized pots during the early stages, the plant will grow well. Once it reaches about 5 to 6 feet in height, it can be permanently transferred to a large pot. Or else you can choose a pot that fits the plant size, so that repotting is not frequently required. But it's better to plant the adult Monstera plants in a big planter so that it allows space for new growth like baby plants. When we brought a Monstera plant, in one pot I received 3 plants. So I separated them, placing 2 in one pot and the third in another. Now I planted all 3 together in one big planter with good support, like using moss pole, so that the plant can look tall and bushier. Coming to fertilizer, I add fresh soil once a year and I haven't used any additional fertilizer so far. However, if you wish to add fertilizer, you can find Monstera specific fertilizers on Amazon. In most cases, frequent fertilization is not necessary for some plants. Changing the soil once a year is often sufficient. But if you prefer to add fertilizer, do so seasonally or once every 6 months. Monstera plants are creepers. For any creeper, if we provide proper support, it grows well. When I bought this plant in the 2nd year, I gave stick support. 3rd year, I used creeping holder stickers brought from Amazon. However, as the plant grew to almost 6 feet tall, the wall holders were unable to bear its weight. So, in the 4th year, I chose a moss pole for support, as it is good solution for thick stems. As I mentioned earlier, for climbing plants, if we give proper support, they will grow well and looks taller and bushier. In this moss pole kit, you will get 8 strong and unbendable moss poles. In addition, you will get some accessories like 3 types of threads for threading or knotting and some name label tags. This moss pole kit also purchased from Amazon. Each moss pole has a pin on one side which should be fixed into the hole of the next side of the pole. Make sure to secure it tightly so it doesn't come apart in the future. These moss poles are stackable, so it's allowing you to adjust the height as needed. At present, I used 4 moss poles and anchored 3 plants by adding them one by one and securing them with thread. I placed the moss pole in the middle of the planter to help balance the 3 plants. When tying the thread, it's best to secure only the main stem. It's better not to take the support of side stems. Knotting to side stems may lead to stem breakage or plant damage or any disturbance to new growth. Since plant is large, even though the moss pole provide balance, they are leaning to one side instead of standing straight. To fix this, I provided extra support using a wall sticker. You might wonder why support is needed for a Monstera plant. Since it has thick stems, however, without proper support, plants may break. If you don't want your Monstera plant to grow too large, you can select a specific height and trim it once it exceeds the size. Roots that grow outside the plant are called aerial roots. Normally roots grow underground, but some roots grow on the outer part of the stem. As you can see here, the roots are growing on the stem, which is common for climbing plants like the Monstera plant. But Monstera plant roots grow wild, so it makes easy to propagate through cuttings. Since this plant is a natural climber, it climbs by taking support from surrounding objects rather than the ground. At that stage, aerial roots help support the plant as it climbs. We can see this type of plants growing outdoors, especially when planted near trees, where they receive partial shade. They are native to rainforest but commonly found in amusement parks and botanical gardens. Additionally, aerial roots can be used as support structures. We can cut aerial roots. It won't affect the plant or harm plant. Just like leaves continue to grow, aerial roots will also regrow over time. The main function of aerial roots are absorbing nutrients and providing support for the plants to climb. Not only for Monstera plants, but for any indoor plants, it's best to add water only when the topsoil feels dry up to 1 inch deep. Otherwise, watering once in a week is sufficient. Another method is to place a saucer at the bottom of the plant and add water only when the saucer is empty. Additionally, self-watering planters can be used. These planters store excess water in a bottom tray and slowly supply water to roots through the soil. Even for the self-watering planters, water the plant only when the topsoil is dry. Overwatering can lead to root rot, which may damage the roots due to excess of moisture in the soil. Coming to multiple Monstera plants, for every plant, new plants will grow from the main plant. By separating them, we can multiple plants. Here, I carefully separated a baby plant from the Monstera plant, ensuring it had roots, and planted in a new planter. Alternatively, you can propagate with knots, cutting a main stem which has a side stem grown. By cutting at the knots, you can also propagate in water until roots develop, after which the plant can be directly planted in soil. Monstera plants can be placed indoors or outdoors. However, when placing them outdoors, it is best to keep them in partial shade, where they are not exposed to direct sunlight. If direct sunlight reaches the leaves, it may cause to sunburn. That's why it is recommended to place them in a partial shade, like near trees, or can be placed on front or back patios where direct sunlight does not reach. In indoors, they can be placed anywhere with partial to low light, but for optimal growth, they should be positioned near bright indirect sunlight. If you see your plant leaf turning yellow or dried, there could be 2 reasons. First, It is a natural process due to aging, meaning the leaves are simply getting older. Second, it could be due to improper watering or a nutrient deficiency. Basically, there are three types of Monstera plants. The first type has large, full green leaves with various types of splits and holes or splits or holes. Second type has smaller leaves with different kinds of splits or holes. Type 3 features variegated leaves, meaning the plant has more than one color. Types 1 and 2 are considered as common plants and are available at normal prices. But coming to third type means uncommon or variegation, those are more expensive. There are mainly three types of variegated plants in the Monstera family. One with green leaves with cream variegation, that is called Thai constellation. Second, green leaves with yellow variations are called Monstera Arios. Third one, albo or albino. Green leaves with white variation are called Monstera albos. Overall, to help Monstera plant to thrive, it's important to add fresh soil yearly or fertilizer, water the plant as needed, and ensure it receives partial or bright indirect sunlight. Providing good support with a moss pole is also essential. I hope these tips help you care for your Monstera plant, and also I will share links to all the items I used for this plant, including the moss pole, which all I brought from Amazon, in description box of this video. For more gardening videos, don't forget to follow my channel and like the video and share it with your friends who love gardening. Thanks for watching.